Well, I hope you like the beat. I haven't actually heard it yet. We're back in time at the moment before I started working on it, just about to start now, but I know you've heard it already. I'm just going to go through the whole process of making it and try to explain everything I'm doing, but try to keep the video to being less than 3 hours long somehow. So there'll be a lot of stuff edited out in here in terms of the mixing, maybe some compositional stuff and whatever else. Please feel free to leave me any comments about what you'd like to see in these kinds of videos, if you like it, if you think there's too much stuff in here, if you want to hear more about composing aspects, why certain chords, why certain melodies, or about mixing or anything. Or if you feel like it should be shorter, I would love to know. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And if you enjoy the video or find it helpful or interesting, please leave it a like. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know you'd like more content like this. That would be great. I've never actually made a lo-fi beat before, but like seemingly everybody, I do listen to it. And I really like the genre. I really like the feel of it. And so I thought, well, I may as well give it a try. So this is my first attempt at doing that sort of thing. I don't know if it's actually going to come out sounding like real lo-fi or not, but that's the intention. And let's just get started. This is my template in Studio One, bunch of Omnisphere tracks, Serum stuff, Contact stuff, and then for drums I usually use either Battery 4, which I'll use today, or Addictive Drums if I'm going for like a real drum thing. So we're just gonna get started. I'm working at 82 BPM and I'm gonna make a little drum beat, but first I need to pick some drum samples. So I'm just gonna open up Battery. How important is picking good samples? It's pretty damn important, possibly the most important. Sometimes I'll take, maybe not on a track like this, but on a track where I'm really being serious about it, I might take a good, I don't know, hour to get my drum samples right. Depends on the song. I'm pretty particular about it. Okay, so I got my drums. I might add some more, but I'm just starting with that for now. Kicks, 2 kicks, 2 snares, or a side stick, and then 3 hats. And the kicks are in a choke group together so that they can't ring over each other in case I do any fast things with them. Same with the hats. So this hat turns off this open hat. Okay, so I'm just going to lay down some kind of drum pattern and then I probably will have to alter it afterwards. So I do like all my drum editing in the piano roll, even though there's these other views in Studio One. I just like to work this way. I'm pretty much going to leave everything unquantized, but I may need to just move some things around. I have an aversion to things being early, like ahead of the beat. So I just kind of, I'm always on the lookout for that. So I'm letting it be super, super loose because, I mean, that's obviously part of the style. And things definitely don't need to be right on the grid. And then, in fact, that would be worse. I'm trying to slug my hi-hats a little bit. If you don't know the term, slugging just means playing behind the beat. So the 8th note, every second 8th note, every offbeat 8th note is delayed slightly. Okay, so that's probably going to do for the drum pattern, and now we will lay down some chords. All right, so I've got Keyscape here, which you don't know about Keyscape, it's just the shit. It's like incredible. One of the best plugins I've ever found, especially, well, mainly for keyboard sounds, but it has this creative section, Keyscape Creative, and it's just got so much good stuff in here, it's unbelievable. So I've settled on this sound for now. And then I'm going to do some stuff to it afterwards. But thinking about the harmony or the chords, I have in mind to do something that sounds kind of half diminished, like minor 7 flat 5, and I'm playing C minor, or in C. I don't know if it's going to stay in minor. So I'm thinking I will start on an F sharp half diminished, go to F minor 6, and then C minor 9 to C9 over E, and then start it again. Okay, I'm just going to clean that up. A secondary line underneath that arpeggio. I'm just going to play kind of chord tones underneath in the lower octave. We'll call this ARPs, and then on top of these ARPs, we are going to put the ultimate lo-fi tool, which is, oh yeah, RC20 by XLN Audio. This thing is just where it's at. So this has these 6 modules that you can do all sorts of stuff to it. We'll just go one by one. We'll make our own little lo-fi preset here. So I'm just going to solo this. Here's the white noise on top of it, right? I turn it off. Oops, sorry about that. I almost prefer the pink noise. That's cool too. Of course, vinyl would be a good choice, but I'm gonna stay away from that this time around. And oh, there's so much good stuff. Oh, it's all good. I'm just gonna go with the pink noise quite quietly. And have the flux turned up. The flux knob here, if I turn it up, gives it some wobble. This is full flux. We'll just turn it down a bit there. We're also gonna have it follow the notes just slightly. And then we'll bring the whole thing down. On top of that, I'm going to put some of this wobble. It's got it in stereo, which is pretty cool. I think I might keep it in mono. So a little bit of pitch bending, just some subtle variation, distortion. Woo, that's cool. Go with the tube, just for some subtle grit. probably lay off the digital thing here, although it is dope. Space. Definitely want some big space. Yep. Magnetic, this gives some, I'll just turn it up intensely so you can hear. It's like a volume fluctuation. And then on the flutter side, it's like a tremolo. Okay, now with everything off. So we should get our sidechain going on, because that's what you do. I mean, that's what I do on every song, but that's especially what you do in lo-fi. And now it should already, yeah. A bit less than that. So I really like the spacious kick pattern thing. I don't know if we'll keep it. I often try to keep it. I just like that really open quality. Then the kicks have a lot of meaning when they come in. From there, I'm going to add a bass. Okay, so I got some kind of bass line idea. I'm just gonna double the length of this loop for now. And I'll try to lay it down in one go, but it's probably not gonna come out right. Okay, so that's roughly it. I need to clean it up. I'm actually not interested in the attack of this sound, that punchy, which I normally am with basses, but in this case not. So I don't know how well we're gonna be able to remove it, but I'll give it a shot. Maybe if we just, oh yeah. Yeah, I quite like that. Gonna throw an EQ on, maybe, yeah. Get rid of the super lows. Let's take a shelf to that. Just looking at the harmonic balance here. There's that throaty frequency. Need some of that in there. yeah. I like this lo-fi stuff because I don't really care about anything. Just do it as fast as possible. It's just not doing it for me, so I'm gonna get rid of you. Okay, so now we need another kind of filler instrument in here, and then potentially some kind of melody will go over top. I'm thinking some kind of pad will go behind all of this. I think I'll just keep the same-ish voicings, but an octave higher, and maybe modify it from there. We'll see how it goes. Maybe one of those. All right, so I've got this pad written here, soloed. It sounds like this. So with the drums and everything. Okay, so here's a little trick. I'm going to try to approximate a harp, the word's escaping me right now, fall, let's call it, this sort of sound. But it's going to have to match the chord that's currently under it. Now, I'm not good enough of a piano player to really do that. So what I'm going to do is actually just use, probably I'll try and use the black keys, and I'm just going to sweep my hand across, maybe the white keys is better, in the gesture that I want, and then I'm going to go in and actually make the notes conform to the appropriate chord. So something like this. So the notes are just random at the moment, and the timing is fine. It's not great, but pretty happy with the timing. Not going to work on it too much. So at this moment, there is a C 9 chord, and I'm just going to make it, because yes, in the pad part, it plays this little thing here. That's an F sharp and an A, which will color this chord to be a dominant 13 sharp 11 chord. And I'm going to actually play the Lydian dominant scale with this. So I'm going to decide my first note. I like that A. So I'm just going to conform everything to the scale, kind of like a harp would. The scale is a C major scale, but it has a B flat, the flat 7, and it has an F sharp for the sharp 4, sharp 11. So I'm just literally playing the scale the whole way down. I don't know if it's actually going to sound any good, but we're going to give it a try. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't really like this note so much. It's going to be annoying if I have to redo. But it definitely sounds better like that. Wow. This note is doubled, but I might be able to get away with doing this. Fine by me. And we're gonna pan this, or even potentially do a little pan automation. Edit the pan, zoom in. We'll start at the left and go right. Okay, so I'm gonna also try to get this pad to ramp back up into the beginning of the loop. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna look at the notes that we're starting with here, and I'll just go to the end. On this snare hit, the notes are E, F sharp, and C. And if I go to that patch, I can change my pitch bend full octave. We'll try both ways just to see. We will start way down low and rise to normal. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to use a clarinet from Contact, the herring clarinet, which is just gorgeous. And I've got a little melody. I'm going to try to get it out here. See how it goes. So that's roughly it. It wasn't perfect, but I'm just gonna go in and edit it. I'm playing that with the mod wheel to get the dynamics, and then just trying to fumble my way through the fingerings. So I'm just gonna go through and try to make it sound as realistic as possible, like it's a sample or at least a real player of some sort. Okay, so here's the finished melody. So for anyone who is as nerdy as me about music, the first chord is that F sharp half diminished. Here I am on the flat 5, rolling down to the flat 3. Right here, this A becomes an A flat in the next chord. This is the F minor. And then here we do the same move, but now it's the 5th of the F down to the flat 3 of the F. This is the 5th of the C chord. This is the flat 3 of the C chord going into the major 3 when it changes to a dominant chord. Natural F to the, like natural 4 to the sharp 4, sharp 11 into the 5. And then here, this is the natural 7 of this F minor 6 chord. Down to its 5th, and landing on the tonic. A little bit sounds funky against the arpeggio because the arpeggio is hitting a D up there. That's what it's doing. And I'm hitting this note. But whatever. Okay, so I'm looking to have a little accent that comes after this last melodic phrase. Boom, right there on that snare. I've got this Serum sound loaded up here, and I'm just going to smack it right on that thing with a clustery C minor 11 thing. Problem is it's going to last so long that the flat 3 of this chord is going to roll over into the next chord. I could try and leave the flat 3 out. It's okay, it's not as crunchy as I wanted, but it might make it easier in the end. The F's going to ruin it too, so screw it. We're just going to fix it in post, as they say. So that's the sound I'm looking for, but if you listen carefully, you can hear that those notes do ring out over the next chord. Okay, so I got the idea now. What I'm going to do is actually take this chord, bounce it out as a minor chord, just like we had, like this. I'm going to call my input. I'm going to call this whatever, minor burst. Then I'm going to do the same thing at the same exact spot and make it a dominant chord, which is what the chord turns into. I'm going to bounce that. Then I'm going to actually swap the tails for each other, if that makes any sense. So pull this to here, bring this up, and then I'm just gonna crossfade these and then solo them and try to smooth it out. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do there. So let's just see if it works. It's hard to even hear, but I think it's good enough. Happens right on a kick drum, right? So you're not even going to hear the change happen because of the side chaining, and then it's just going to fade out as if it was always a major chord, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with this. I'm not really going to do much more to it. I'm just going to do a quick little mix, like volume balance some stuff, and then maybe a tiny bit of an arrangement, which if you've made it to this part of the video, you've already heard this because it's at the start of the video. I didn't know what it was going to sound like, but now we've got it. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and the making of this beat. Please let me know if you want more detail on these sorts of things, or if this was good. Like, do you want to know more about the composing process, why I chose the chords or the melodies? Do you want to know about the mixing at all, or anything else? Or is it good like it is? Is it concise enough without getting bored, or blah, blah, blah? Anything you have to say about it would be much appreciated, just so I know how to make it better in the future. But yeah, have a great day. It was a blast to make. See you soon.